All right, everybody. Well, welcome and happy Wednesday. It's so great to see you all on here. And I want to thank you for taking the time to join us. Diane Hunt, my sponsor, and the one that introduced me to this revolutionary patch, is also on the call. And we are just so excited to share something that has been a total game changer in our lives and in the lives of so many others. Super simple, drug-free technology that is using the power of your own light to support your body to heal and repair itself from the inside out. So we're going to have some powerful shares tonight, some powerful testimonials. We're going to get into how it all works in just a little bit, but just a little bit about me and how I got started. I am Beth Blackmore. I'm a health and empowerment coach. And my journey into this health world started over 6 years ago when I became conscious and chose to do something about it. I ended up losing 60 pounds through my food choices, my lifestyle habits. And I thought that was a big win. But honestly, that was just the beginning. This was really the beginning of my conscious awakening. I ended up leaving my HR career in government, pension and all, because I wanted more freedom, more purpose, and really a way to help people take charge of their health. So, as someone who is curious and open minded, I love learning. And over the past year, I started to really acknowledge and appreciate the power of light, sunlight, our circadian rhythm, and basically how our environment, especially our light environment, plays a massive role in our health and well being. So when my dear friend Diane Hunt reached out to me more than once, I think 8 times, right, Diane, about this patch, I was intrigued. I was a little skeptical until my mom saw some incredible benefits right out of the gate. So my 77-year-old mom had been experiencing knee pain for years. She was going to physiotherapy 3 times a week, and within a few days, she noticed relief. Her physiotherapist noticed more mobility, less inflammation, and wondered what had changed, what new supplement she was taking. But the only thing that had changed, the only thing she was doing differently was this light patch that her daughter put on her. But it didn't stop there. My mom started sleeping better, deeper sleep. She had more energy and stamina during the day. She was able to get back to things that she loves doing, which is walking and gardening and swimming and taking care of the younger grandkids. And for me personally, as someone, I'd consider myself fairly healthy. But the first thing I noticed was within a couple of days, I was finally able to sleep through the night, deeper sleep and vivid dreams, which I hadn't had in years. This pain, this tightness in my lower back, within a week or two of patching, I no longer have experienced that. No more trips to the chiro. My mental clarity, my focus have improved, which is amazing because I have so much going on, so much on my plate. No more stiff and sore joints. My muscle recovery is much quicker after working out. But honestly, folks, what lights me up is that I know that the best is yet to come. My body is continuing to heal and repair and age reverse. I'm also loving the financial opportunity that this brings with the trajectory that this company is on. So, more on that a little bit later. So, tonight we're going to start with some powerful testimonies, and I would love to have my dear friend Diane introduce herself and share her incredible story with you.
Thank you. I would love to. Hello, everybody. My name's Diane Hunt, and how blessed am I to have Beth say yes to me, because the ripple effect of one person saying yes to this and seeing so many familiar faces on the screen right now and hearing the testimonies is the power of what we have our hands on. So I know your time is valuable. I just want to say thank you for tuning in and taking this time for yourself, because what we have our hands on, it is a miracle. I was a critical care cardiac nurse for 20 years in New York City, and so I've seen so many things, right? I've never seen miracles like I've seen with this patch. 2.5 years ago, I was dealing with long haul COVID, and probably in the last 10 years of my medical career, I was really tapping more into the holistic. I was feeling like another pill, another surgery. This is not how we're getting to the root of things. This is not really helping people heal their bodies. And so I really started researching and doing a lot of education on that. And so I had all the things. So I thought I had all the natural, the lights, the frequency devices, everything. But when I was hit with COVID, it definitely left me with shortness of breath. It affected my lungs. I know there was a lot of inflammation going on in my lungs still, which was throwing off my heart. I was having heart palpitations. And then I was also dealing with a lot of memory, like brain fog, all the things. So at that same time, I was also watching my dad, who's on this call, who will share his amazing testimony, going downhill really quick. And so I am sure many can relate. If your children are going downhill quick or your parents are going downhill quick, you will do whatever it takes, right? Like there's more of a sense of urgency than if you're going downhill quick. And so I started praying to please God, bring me something that will help my body heal and also help my dad because I don't like seeing him like this. He went really quickly from being this active man to being debilitated with, which he'll talk about with a few things. And I just knew we could find something. I knew there was something out there. So luckily on his birthday, I got an inbox from a nurse in Florida. And she said, I don't know if you've heard of these. I know you're into natural healing and all the healing natural stuff. And I saw 20 years this company has been around. And I was like, how have I not heard of this? So I saw a few things. It helps with inflammation. It helps with cardiac age, reverses cardiac age by wearing it just 6 months. And it helps with pain. So I was thinking of my dad for that. So I got started. I'm realizing like my head's all cut off. Okay, sorry for the interruption. So I got started. I put him on my dad, my mom, my husband, my kids, and I said, listen, we're just wearing this. I don't know what it's going to do for you, but I trust that this is going to help us. So I was lucky. I was a 24-hour wonder. They call it a one patch wonder. I no longer had shortness of breath. I no longer had palpitations, but the miracles continued. So I was a believer pretty quickly. Now, my dad, my husband, it took about 4 months for them to really have those physical changes, which you'll hear in a story. But I knew something's happening. So I just told them, keep staying on it, stay on it. And I also no longer have dry eye floaters. I don't need my readers. The other thing that I noticed was my umbilical hernia that I had for 13 years, I no longer have anymore. Like, this is the regeneration that happens with this patch because of the stem cell activation. The other thing is I grew an inch. Okay, now that might not sound a lot, but when you're 50 and you're growing an inch, that's like to me, wow, what is going on within my body? So I cannot talk more about, like, I could talk probably for another 10 hours, but what we have our hands on is so magical. To see my parents now who are in their 80s going on a 2-week trip to Switzerland, which if you asked me 2.5 years ago, they would never. I knew they were going downhill quick and there was no returning until I found this patch because it really truly is age reversal. So thank you, Beth, and everybody for tuning in. I'm going to hand it back to you.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Diane. All right, I'm going to hand it over to your dad, Roger. If you can unmute yourself and share your story tonight with us, we can't wait.
Sure. Thank you very much. Welcome, everybody. Hello, everybody. Thank you, Beth and Diane, for this great invitation. This sleeve here, which incorporates this X39 patch, it's the ultimate game changer. It really is. I don't know too much about the technology, but I do know how it's affected me and the results that I've experienced wearing it for the last maybe 2 years. So I've been retired. I'm 81 years old. I travel back and forth from New York City to Utah on a regular basis. I don't walk, I don't drive, but I do take aircraft back and forth. I retired probably in 2010. I was 65 years old and was very active. I was playing racquetball. I was a gym nut, since my Navy days. I love walking and hiking. My passion is photography. So I really love to get out in nature and see what God presides and presents to me on a regular basis. Then when I turned about 75, I noticed a downward spiral, in my health and my stamina. And probably around the age of 78, I had chronic pain due to plantar fasciitis. I had sciatic nerve issues. With the pain level was probably around 7 to 8 on a daily basis. I couldn't get any relief whatsoever. I had a rash every year that came on my butt, and I couldn't get rid of that. My eyes kept tearing, my tear ducts didn't function properly. I love walking, but my walking was very limited. I had to stop and just kind of relax. Why? Because my upper legs, my thighs would go numb. They would tingle. So I guess that's back due to back of lack of circulation. So, and most of all, I live close to the beach, and when I'm sitting at the beach in a chair, one of those beach chairs, it's pretty embarrassing to ask somebody to give me a lift up because I can't get up myself. So I really had to chalk it up to aging. I accepted the unacceptable. I didn't want to accept it, but this is the aging process. And then, as Diane says, she came along into the picture and introduced me to one of Lifeway's patches, the X39. I began wearing it, not noticing much improvement until about the 4th month period. And wow, something happened. Talk about a miracle. This patch really was working my body over when I really didn't realize it. My plantar fasciitis was gone completely. Sciatic nerve pain was back to a 1. My rash was completely gone. The watering in my eyes was draining properly. I was able to get up from a beach chair without somebody asking me to be embarrassed in that regard. I was back playing racquetball. I was in the gym 6 days a week. I was lifting weights. I mean, it was just incredible how things were changing so quickly. So I've been using the X39 religiously, daily. Some people say you wear your heart on your sleeve. Well, I wear my patch right there on my bicep. And the reason I do that is when I go to the gym, people ask me, what is that? They're very curious why I'm wearing that. When I give them a little introduction into it, they are very curious to hear about the technology. And no medication is going into your body. It's all light, light activated, and they want to know more about it. So I'm so happy just to share the little knowledge that I have with them, and then I pass it on, to them to Diane. So I have people that even stop me and they say, my mom and dad could use this. They're in their 80s, and boy, they're nowhere near what you look like. Your health is so great. You have so much energy. And I just tell them it's the X39, it's LifeWave, it's phototherapy. You got to talk to my daughter more about it. So I just pass it on to them. So I'm I'm on the 20-yard line. I'm 81 years old. I want to be the best version of myself going out. And the way I'm doing it is through this technology. It's just phenomenal. So I hope you're picking up what I'm putting down because it really has made a huge impact, not only on my health, my attitude, my emotions, but even my engagement with my family. And I look forward to life every day. Thank you.
Oh my gosh, Roger, thank you so much for sharing such a powerful testimonial. And the fact that, because I know Diane had mentioned, at the 3-month mark, you were starting to question things and, wasn't sure what was going on. And I know that she was encouraging you to keep going. And everybody on this call tonight, I'm sure, are so inspired by you and so glad that you kept going. I'm going to share this picture that Diane had posted on Facebook. I don't know if you know this, but a Facebook picture of you and Diane. I think you had beat her 3 out of 4 racquetball games. This was, I believe, last winter. So now, yes, this racquetball champ, and we're just so excited for you, Roger.
Thank you. But don't go beyond that when she beats me, please. Okay.
Okay, I'll keep that in mind.
Yeah,
Thank you,
she's a
Roger,
great
for sharing.
competitor. Amen. Thank you.
Amazing. Thank you. Thanks so much for sharing. Mary, I would love for you to unmute yourself and share tonight.
Hello.
Hello.
Hey. Um, well, it's such inspiring stories. It's awesome. So I started patching November 26th of last year, and that really changed my life that day. for 2 years before, well, 2023, I was not feeling well. I was just kept pushing along. 2024, I was actually off work the whole year. My similar symptoms to what Diane mentioned already, but long haul COVID was certainly a thing for me. Heart palpitations, shortness of breath, couldn't climb a flight of stairs without stopping. One of my biggest debilitating symptoms was pain in my joints and then inflammation. So my feet were swelled, looked like I had congestive heart failure, and I couldn't wear normal shoes. Oh, you got my pictures. So when I put that patch on November 26th, it had been hiding in my cupboard for 2 years, given to me by a friend in Florida. And it within 12 hours, 70% of that inflammation was gone out of my feet. And I was mind blown that something could happen that quickly, because I had been doing tons of therapies, lymphatic drainage, all sorts of natural stuff, and I had gotten barely any results. So to see the results of that patch so quickly, it was incredible. And then when I started patching consistently in January, then I had way more changes. So I'll just kind of list them off here quickly. So my systemic inflammation vanished, not only in my feet, but the rest of my joints cleared up. I had wrecked my knees playing volleyball, varsity volleyball in college, and I can now sit in a squat for an extended period of time and get up without any clicking and no pain. And that's pretty incredible to me. My joints feel better than 20 years ago. Brain fog is clearing steadily. I can organize my life. My executive function was like nil. I was barely functioning, hardly able to get meals for us as a family and stuff. And I'm back to working. I don't work full time, but I work a lot, and then I run the household. I do massage and craniosacral therapy, cold laser. So I'm a practitioner in that sort. And I'll just offshoot on that. So I've shared with a lot of my clients, and I'm watching miracles in their lives too. It's incredible. Let's see. My low back discomfort melted away. I'd been struggling with that for a lot of years. My voice cleared up and increased in range for singing and speaking. I had a daily coffee habit and huge sugar cravings, and those subsided significantly, like just a couple days into patching consistently. And I have creative ideas popping into my head. So that's a lot of fun. That didn't happen until probably about a month ago. I started noticing creativity sparking back into my life. My biggest gratitude is mental health wise. I didn't realize I had forgotten how to be happy. And I was so much on survival mode that I hadn't laughed, I hadn't had fun, I hadn't felt at peace for a long time. And it was only, well, it hit me within the first couple of patches that I wore. I just had this sense of calm that I hadn't had for years, and it was foreign to me, and it was incredible. So, and that's only increased along the way, feeling adaptable to my environment, adaptable to my circumstances, and able to cope with life. And if I can just speak to one thing, I had heard about the patches a couple times. I mentioned that they sat in my cupboard for 2 years without using them. I did that because I couldn't afford them. And here I am 8 months in, and I have had the privilege of sharing health with quite a few people. And my patches are being paid for through the company, through the income. So if there's a will, there's a way. And it's a really big privilege to share health with other people and reap some financial benefits of that too. So if it's finances in your way, that was my stumbling block for a long time. And it's possible. So
Yes.
Yep.
Amazing. Yes. Thank you so much, Mary, for sharing that. And I feel the same way. I mean, as a health coach stepping out of government and becoming my own, owning a business, I feel like I can make more of an impact because everybody can benefit from these patches. So, and then with the generous compensation plan that we're going to get into a little bit tonight, but I mean, who doesn't want to bless others with these amazing patches when they have so many varied benefits, right? All from mental health to knee pain to sciatica pain to, the congestive heart failure, feet, to people growing their hair back, people age reversing. It's exciting to share this. So how can you not share it? And even if it's just to cover the cost of your patches, let alone potentially live a life of abundance. So thank you so much, Mary. We're so happy that you could share tonight. You have such a powerful story. Tamara, I would love for you to share your story tonight if you can unmute.
For sure. Thanks for the opportunity, Beth. So my story started August of 2024. I met Beth in a parking lot and picked up some patches, threw one on, and literally for me, within minutes, putting on my first X39, 5 to 6 years worth of hip discomfort, not significant pain, but discomfort that I noticed and was there every day was literally gone within the first 15 to 20 minutes of me putting on that patch, and it's never come back. So life changer right there. But then in addition to that, within the first couple of days, I would say I had better quality and longer sleep. I was sleeping 6 to 7 hours a night, oftentimes not being able to fall asleep or struggling to fall back asleep if I woke up. And for months on end, I slept like 8 to 9 months. Or 8 to 9 months, 8 to 9 hours. God, if it was months, that would be insane. But yeah, so just woke up feeling rested, lots of energy, mental clarity, and the energy, like many others have said, were certainly some of the first things that I've noticed as well. And then, I've just grown to, my hair is better. My hair is like back to the color that I had as a teenager. I've always had very long and healthy hair, but the color going back to what I had in high school is certainly a nice treat. Well, for me, about 2.5 years ago, I had fillings fall out of two of my molars. And after leaving my job with the government, I didn't have a health plan. So I figured, well, I'll just wait and see, deal with it if I need to down the road. And I would say I first noticed last December that the teeth were actually growing back in, and it's not complete yet, but it's getting smaller. I notice it. So one of these days I'll just decide to pay out the money to go to a dentist just to get an x-ray just to prove that it's changed, but I haven't gotten that far just yet. So so for me, those are certainly the biggest changes that I have noticed. My husband's also been wearing his patches since probably a couple of days after I started. Varicose veins, that he's had significant varicose veins in both of his legs over the years, are definitely getting smaller. He's got a better quality of sleep as well. And he's early on noticed a real sense of calm that came over him as well. Not that he's ever had like significant anxiety or whatnot, but just a level of calmness. And as a golfer, that's a great thing to have when you're going into a golf game. Improved digestion, that he suffered 17 years after breaking his ankle and requiring surgery, taking a lot of antibiotics and different medications. And he worked for years. He became a certified holistic nutritionist just trying to deal with this. And he's still always struggled, but he really noticed significant improvements in his digestion after starting his patches. And, just other smaller things along the way, a sore throat and a headache, throwing on a patch and another ice wave or an Aeon, and, taking care of that within like a half a day as opposed to like several days of having a cold and feeling miserable. So, just incredible differences in our lives. And we're very grateful that we've had this opportunity to experience the benefits of the X39 as well. So
Yes.
thank you for bringing it to us, Beth.
You're welcome. And thanks so much for sharing tonight. All right, so we are going to get into the presentation tonight so you can understand why, there are so many varied benefits from this and how this patch why this patch is so powerful. So I'm assuming everyone can see my screen. If you can just give me a thumbs up that you can see it. Yes. Okay, great. You saw Mary's feet. So we're all good. Okay. So now that you've heard these life-changing stories, we want to dive into how this patch works. And it's really, as I said, it's by supporting your body through your own light. And so I want to make a disclaimer, though, that at the outset, that LifeWave products, they are not intended to treat, diagnose, cure, prevent any disease or medical condition. This patch is not a medical device that requires FDA approval. It's actually just FDA recognized as a general wellness product. So I want to throw some stats at you. This is super fascinating. And I certainly did not know this, 15, 16 months ago when I first started hearing about these patches and using these patches. But as we age, we lose healthy stem cells. And this is the healing and the repair mechanism that our bodies rely on. So our stem cells actually go dormant. By the age of 30, healthy stem cells decrease by 60%. By 60 years old, those healthy stem cells decrease by 90%. And not only is the natural aging process contributing to our decline in health, but unfortunately, this world we live in, the modern age of convenience, consumerism, we are inundated with toxins and chemicals in the air, in the water, in the food, and the man-made synthetic radiation that's beaming on me right now. All of this leads to cellular dysfunction, and our bodies require healthy, active stem cells to heal and repair the body. Stem cells are the undifferentiated cells that turn into any cell that's needed in our body. So they do become your heart cell, your lung cells, your liver cells, your hair cells, and even your brain cells. And sure, there is stem cell therapy, but where do those stem cells come from? What is at the end of that needle? Stem cell therapy, we know, is expensive. It's not readily available and accessible. It's invasive, it's risky, and it's actually only about 50% effective because they stay local to the injection site. And so this is why regenerating our own stem cells is so exciting and why this phototherapy patch is such a powerful option. So you may not have heard about phototherapy before, but it is nothing new. It's actually been around since the dawn of time. All living beings depend on the sun, right? Which is nature's original phototherapy, signaling our bodies to make essential vitamin D, and definitely signaling other vital processes in the body. Photobiomodulation is a type of light therapy or phototherapy that uses specific wavelengths of light to stimulate cells that then boost energy production, promotes healing, reduces inflammation, it improves blood flow, it helps with tissue repair. And what's exciting is that it is accessible, it's non-invasive, it's affordable, and risk-free. And so what if I told you tonight that these little light patches use this specific type of light therapy to increase a naturally occurring copper peptide? Well, that's exactly what the X39 patch does. So through this process of photobiomodulation, it increases the production of our own, of human GHKCU copper peptide. And this is known as the holy grail of age reversal. So this is not synthetic peptides that you are injecting. They are not exogenous. They are your own. They're naturally occurring. But just like with stem cells, they decrease with age. And so we want to proliferate them. We want to multiply them. So this unique copper peptide was isolated back in 1973 by Dr. Lauren Picard. And so we know, based on 50 years of research, what this GHKCU can do. And so some of the amazing benefits is that it supports tissue repair and regeneration. It boosts collagen and elastin production. It also has multiple anti-inflammatory, anti-anxiety, anti-pain, and even anti-cancer properties. This copper peptide is also known to reset over 4,000 genes in our genome. So basically resetting DNA to a younger, healthier state. But here's the clincher. This GHKCU reactivates our own dormant stem cells, and it does this through the power of this patch. So LifeWave X39 is a small wearable phototherapy or light patch. It's the size of a quarter. You can see it here on my wrist. It's patented. It uses this process of photobiomodulation. So using your body's own infrared heat to activate. We are all light beings. We all emit this low-level infrared heat, this low-level infrared light. We're all warm to the touch. And so there's nothing actually on this patch that is going into your body. Just think of it as a mirror reflecting specific light frequencies back into your body, signaling these biological changes at the cellular level. So what this patch consists of are just organic materials, these amino acids, sugar, water, salt, and oxygen that form this crystal lattice structure. And this is what acts like a mirror, reflecting these wavelengths of light back into the body. So what's exciting though is that these patches are non-transdermal, right? So there's nothing on it, there's nothing going into your body. They're latex free, they don't contain any chemicals or drugs or stimulants, so they're safe to use without interfering with any medications. And so there are no contraindications because nothing is being absorbed into your skin. So this is where it gets exciting, and think of what it can do for you. So number one, reducing inflammation and pain. And why this is so important is because that we know that most chronic diseases is because of inflammation, chronic inflammation in the body. It improves strength and stamina and energy levels. And it actually does this because it specifically targets the mitochondria to help make more energy within our cells. And this is why people experience this energy boost. That comes from the mitochondria. It improves muscle and bone density, strengthening, building lean, strong muscles and bones. We know that Olympians, we know that Division I athletes are using it in the States. Professional athletes use this to gain a competitive edge, but definitely great for anyone wanting to level up their physical game. It helps with mental clarity, reduces stress. I've definitely noticed this in myself with less brain fog, more mental clarity, not forgetting things. It also balances and regulates hormones. It eases anxiety, as we've heard from many people on the call tonight. Also cycle regulation for women. It improves hair growth and skin appearance with increasing collagen and elastin production. So both men and women are reporting new hair growth, returning back to their natural hair color. It helps with wound healing and scars. Surgeons in the States are recommending this for their patients pre and post surgery due to the faster healing process. It improves sleep, with so many people reporting deeper sleep, having vivid dreams. This is one of the most common benefits right off the bat. This has been a huge benefit for me. And this is where the healing and the repair work happens, right? So having a solid sleep is so important. And really what sets this apart from anything out there is that this patch works systemically all over the body to heal and repair the body with a 2100% stem cell proliferation rate. Okay, so now if we look at the long-term results, first off, I mean, within the first few days, your body's actually starting to reset over 4,000 genes, whether you feel this or not. And that's no small feat. We only have around 20,000 genes in our genome, so resetting 4,000 is significant. Some of you may have heard of the benefits of red wine. The molecule that is contained in red wine called resveratrol that resets 2 genes. And here we're talking about resetting 4,000 genes with this patch. Then within 6 weeks, the brain becomes more balanced, more mental clarity, less brain fog, more focus, people, having less anxiety, less depression, many people coming off their anxiety meds, their antidepressants, right? What a gift this is with so many people suffering from mental health in our world. Within 3 months, collagen increases. Often people think of collagen having to do with the hair, the skin, the nails, the aesthetics, but collagen is actually the most abundant protein in the body, and it's needed all throughout the vascular system, our blood vessels, our fascia, which supports our organs. Collagen is the master protein in our body, and we can create it with this patch. Within 6 months, the heart actually reverses in age by 8 years. Many testimonials about people no longer in AFib, no longer requiring surgery, coming off their blood pressure medications. Diane Hunt, as a former cardiac surgical nurse, I know she's never seen anything like it when it comes to people's heart health and the improved heart function that this patch offers. So how do you wear it? Super simple to wear the patch. It's adhesive. It has medical grade tape, so you stick it on the body, stick it on the skin, stick it on where it hurts. But what I love about it is that it's activated by your heat. So you can even wear it in your pocket, stick it to your undergarments, and it is going to be effective. But that's also why you want to be careful when you transport them. When you meet someone in a parking lot like Tamara, you don't want to have it in your pocket. You don't want to have it on your body because it will activate. I usually wear it on my wrist because, you know, I'm wanting to advertise it, but you can really put it anywhere on the body. You wear it for 12 hours during the day, you take it off at night, it's disposable. You can put it on your pet and they are going to reap the benefits of it. So even attach it to your dog's collar, they're going to get the benefit of the rest of the patch. You put a new one on the next day. So you want to make sure that there's a break from the stimulation of light. Otherwise, the body gets used to it. It's not as effective. And we call that attenuation. The light energy in our body actually works off of the water network in our body. So we want to keep hydrated. So not only drinking water, but a good quality unrefined salt, because it has all of the other minerals and electrolytes in it. Even a good quality electrolyte you can add into your diet as well, because those minerals help to pull the water into the cells. And that's actually how we hydrate the body. And because it's working through a copper peptide, it's important we have available copper in the body. So great sources of copper include everybody's favorite beef liver, right? Organ meats, which are a superfood in general, but also oysters, shellfish are excellent, avocados, nuts such as cashews, seeds like sunflower seeds, even just a piece of dark chocolate, the bitter, the 90%, gives you actually enough copper for the day. So what would you expect? So, I mean, I definitely encourage you to take note of your current state, your specific issues, taking pictures. So you have the before and after pictures of your skin, your hair, your scars, your veins, your skin tags, your moles. Write out your wish list, track your progress. We provide a health tracker to new users to track your progress. But it is important to remember that every body is different. Everyone has a different experience, a different state of health, a different toxic load. So you want to give it time. David Schmidt, the inventor, recommends committing to it for a month for every decade you are old. But 90% of users experience a noticeable difference within the first 3 months. So important to be patient and consistent. And you know what, although we might want these patches to do something specific, the body knows best. It's extremely intelligent and it's going to heal and repair and do what it needs to do in a priority sequence. So sometimes your body is going to focus on areas you didn't expect. I had a good friend of mine, because my mom had such a powerful testimonial and experience with the patches for her knee pain. I shared it with my good friend who was, you know, having debilitating knee pain. And the first thing she noticed within weeks of patching wasn't the knee pain gone. It was this mental, her mental state. She felt like this weight had been lifted off her shoulders, less anxiety, less depression. And then it was her knee pain that went away after that. So healing also takes energy. So, you know, some people experience a boost in energy right away. However, my husband, myself, more so my husband, at the beginning, he was quite tired. And so, you know, energy, healing takes up energy, right? So you want to listen to your body, you want to rest, you want to get that extra sleep, because that is when the repair and the healing actually takes place. You want to practice deep breathing to allow that oxygen to get in, allow that circulation to happen. And really something to note that, yeah, you might feel a little bit unwell, you know, at the beginning. Potentially some people do experience that, but that's part of the healing process. It's likely because you're stirring up a lot of those toxins. You need to clear them. And that's where the deep breathing comes in, keeping hydrated, ensuring those detox pathways are open. Okay, so here are some physical examples, some before and after pictures that I can share with you in addition to the powerful testimonials at the beginning. So you can see on the left-hand side the progression of the hair growth. So this woman has experienced this hair growth over a 6-month period, with the hair, the part really filling in. As I said, lots of testimonials about natural hair color returning even. Then the comparison shots on the right. So this is amazing, right? With this woman suffering from scoliosis, which is a curvature of the spine. You can see she was wearing the X39, also the Ice Wave patches for pain, which is one of the patches that David Schmidt created before the X39. But this healing took place over a 4-week period. Okay, now here on the left, this woman suffering from a skin condition called vitiligo. This condition is where the skin becomes depigmented due to a lack of melanin. It's often related to autoimmune disease. However, you can see it virtually disappears after this woman wore the X39 stem cell patch. Then on the right, I've mentioned about, different surgeons recommending the patches before and after surgery, but this is 2 days after a knee surgery, the healing that took place. And I mean, as I said, surgeons are recommending these pre and post surgery due to the fast healing. Okay, so when we talk about brain health and coherence, this is an image. This is actually a functional EEG, a brain scan of a 77-year-old woman. On the left-hand side, session 1, so before the use of the X39, the red in the image showing this high inflammation, right, of the brain, this lack of brain coherence. Then after only 3 weeks, you can see this session 2 where there's no more red, there's no more inflammation. The dark blue is a low energy state, but the green part is where you're starting to see some more coherence come in. Then at the 6-week mark, this third session, you can see there's no more inflammation still, but a lot more of that green coming in, which is showing the high brain coherence. And then again, right, this is only after 6 weeks of this 77-year-old. So I love to share who the genius is behind this incredible patch. And so let me introduce you to David Schmidt. He's on the call. No, I'm just kidding. David Schmidt is the CEO of this 20-year-old company. He actually has over 200 patents to his name. He started working with the US government. He was actually part of the Navy SEAL survival program, where he was creating something that could keep the SEALs alert, mentally focused on these missions that lasted 36 hours, on these missions called Hell Week. And that's where the first patch of LifeWave was born. That was his first patent. Then through David's networks, he found himself at Stanford University putting those original patches on the US Olympic swim team. They ended up having amazing success with it. They set personal records. They actually brought in the anti-doping agency, but they didn't find anything because this is all working through the body's own light. But all of this was 20 years ago. But in 2008, David realized that the future of medicine was in stem cells. And that's when he began to really research and want to figure out a way that he could leverage the natural stem cells that exist in the human body. So after 10 years of research, $4.5 million later, by 2020, he had received a 20-year patent on the X39. And so this company really went from this steady state $20 million company to closing out last year, 2024, over 600 million. So this is a 3,000% growth rate in 4 years. So talk about momentum. And so LifeWave has actually been recognized for this massive growth by DSN, so Direct Selling News, with the Bravo Growth Award. And DSN honors companies with the highest year-over-year revenue growth on the Global 100 list. So companies that are not only scaling their businesses, but setting new benchmarks for the entire industry. We've received this Bravo Growth Award for 2 years in a row now. And so there really is no competition out there in the market. This is a novel product. No one else has this. No one else can have this because we have the 20-year patent until 2040. And so there is this 22-page patent, but this one paragraph says it all. Elevates copper peptide, activates stem cells, improvements in strength, stamina, and pain relief. So the patent is on the structure, right? That material that I was telling you about, the lattice structure, where the patch reflects the specific frequencies of light back into the body. There are clinical studies that show the significant increase in the production of this copper peptide GHKCU, and that's measured through urine analysis and blood samples and other lab analysis. And in order to get a patent, you have to prove that it works. So I would love to share this. Thisisit.info.com is an amazing website that you can check out. It has the patents there. It has the studies. It has a whole section on powerful testimonials, everything from children to, heart function, brain function. It has David Schmidt being interviewed, doctors being interviewed. This is a very powerful site that you can check out and do your own research. So we've introduced you to this patch tonight, but think about, not just about the less pain and more energy you might find, but what about this? What could this healing allow you to do in your life? So thinking of Mary, right? Being able to go back to a job that you had to quit because of the pain you were in. And maybe it's transforming your life because you're confident, you're finally getting your body repaired. It's finally repairing at the root. Maybe it's getting your life back, right? Thriving instead of just surviving. Maybe it's hitting new physical goals in the gym, leveling up your physical game, being able to walk, right? Being able to be mobile. And for some, it's even financial freedom with the momentum of this company. So simply sharing with friends and family, you can offset the cost of your patches, make a car payment, or even create a life of abundance. And this is all really with the power of this patch. So let me show you how you can get started. There are 3 ways to enroll. These prices are in US dollars and for a month's worth of patches. So there are 30 sleeves, 30 patches in a sleeve. A sleeve is an envelope of patches that Roger showed up earlier. So first you can enroll as a retail customer, paying full retail price. Who wants to do that, right? 149 US, no thank you. But we often see practitioners in the States set themselves up like this, offering this to their patients. But of course, we want to promote getting you set up at the wholesale pricing of $99 US. So you have 2 options. You can sign up as a preferred customer, commit to a monthly subscription, or as a brand partner. So we typically recommend the brand partner option because not only can you take advantage of the wholesale pricing, but you can also secure a spot on the team and leverage the amazing momentum that this company is experiencing by building a business without an additional cost. No overhead. It's just the cost of your patches. And so what we often see is that people begin to experience success with the products. They naturally share them with others where they can earn a commission and sometimes end up building a full-time business. So signing up as a brand partner, there is no pressure to share or build a business, nor is there an additional investment or commitment. As I said, you're just paying for the cost of your personal patches. And so there are several enrollment kits to get you started. As you can see, the more that you purchase upon signing up, the better the value. The cost of the sleeve come down considerably for your initial order. You can also upgrade anytime throughout through those enrollment kits and just pay the difference and receive the difference in the number of sleeves. That way you can start sharing them with family and friends in your life, your aging parents, loan them out to people in parking lots as they wait for their order. It's fun to get people started on them while they wait for their order to come in. And honestly, having extra sleeves on hand will set you up for success if you're wanting to do this business right out of the gate. So we do have a very attractive compensation plan for those interested in sharing the product. It's a binary compensation plan where you're building 2 teams, a left team and a right team. To hit the first rank and open up the full compensation plan, it's as easy as sharing with 4 people that you love and you hit the first rank of manager. It took me a couple weeks to hit this rank when I first started. But just last month, I hit the second highest rank in the company, presidential director. And so in just 15 months with this company, I've been able to surpass the monthly income that I earned in my 23-year career in HR. And I am new to direct sales. So it does go to show that we have an incredible leadership team that you too can leverage. This company is on this massive trajectory and our team is the #1 team in the whole company. It's got incredible leadership and supports and training systems in place to grow your business. No prior experience or training in sales or network marketing required, just a passion to help people with the freedom model, whether it's health freedom, financial freedom, or time freedom. But it all starts with your health. Without your health, nothing else matters, right? Health is foundational. So I want to thank you so much for coming on the call tonight, for taking the time to learn about this unconventional healing modality. I encourage you to reach out to the person who invited you on the call to answer further questions. But I will be opening it up for questions tonight for those who are new on the call. But first, I want to open it up for questions. And this is my question to you. What if investing in your health gave you the greatest return of your life? All right, so I'm going to stop sharing. And I'd encourage you, if you have questions, you can raise your hand. I don't know if there were any questions in the chat, but I'm just going to have a quick look. Okay, so Marina, Are the results cumulative? Okay, that's a great question. Are they permanent, or would they stop if you stop using them? Okay, great question. So yeah, I mean, the results are definitely cumulative. I mean, as you heard from Diane, things are just getting better and better and better. And I feel the same way. And yeah, I mean, so in terms of, because they're stem cells and they're healing and they're repairing your body, it's not like if you stop using them, you're going to revert back to your old state of health. What's going to happen is that that natural aging process is going to kick in again, right? And so you're not going to be more proactive with patching. Now, obviously, patching is a personal choice, how long you're going to patch for. But definitely, I mean, I feel like this is a tool in my toolkit where this is preventative. It's not just about treating what's going on in the here and now, and even stuff that I'm not even sure what's going on inside of me under the hood, but it is going to continue to work in my body and reset those genes to a younger, healthier state. So I hope that answered it. So Sandy asked, yeah, if one starts at the core, can you move up to premium at a later time? Yeah, okay, Diane answered, yeah, at any time you can. And Chris asked, can it help in anhedonia? I'm not sure what that is, Diane. I don't know if you know what that condition is. I mean, I know that Diane has said before that she hasn't seen one thing that this hasn't helped with, and we know that it helps everybody with everything given the right amount of time. But Diane,
I mean, so my answer to that is we have seen things where doctors have told them, you know, it'll never heal. Or, you know, we have people and it starts to heal, right? Because it's regenerative. I feel like because it's activating stem cells, anything is possible. So I know this is more mental we're talking about, but even still, I feel like we have people that have been on antidepressants, right? My friend Patty, who Beth knows very well, she would be numb. She never, I mean, the antidepressants just numbed her so much, but I mean, to feel joy again, to feel emotions, even sadness, but not like that depressive sadness. So I would say, yeah, I believe anything is possible.
any experience with middle advanced Alzheimer's? I mean, there are many testimonials about, yes, Alzheimer's and dementia patients and cognitive impairment for sure. And yeah, we have multiple testimonials. If you want to reach out to the person that invited you on the call, they'll be able to share some concrete testimonials with you. To what extent have you seen any people unable to wear the patch because their skin is sensitive to wearing the medical tape? So I think it's, is it 10% or maybe not even that high? 1 in 10,000 people. I think there's some stat where yes, people are allergic to the medical grade tape. But you can wear it on your clothing. You can wear it, you know, it actually does not have to be stuck on your skin. That's not how this works because it is not transdermal. So I mean, when you touch somebody, I mean, you can feel your clothing is hot. So it actually works through your clothing. It has like a 4 to 6 inch distance where the infrared light can penetrate. So it doesn't actually have to be on your skin. The other thing too is that, you could place it in different areas. So some people may be more sensitive to maybe placing it at the back of their neck. I've heard that before, but if they place it, you know, 2 finger widths underneath their navel or somewhere else on their body, they don't have that same skin sensitivity. So you can play around with it. All right, I don't see any more hands up. But this recording will be on my YouTube channel, Beth Blackmore, and I encourage you to share it out, share it far and wide. There were powerful testimonials on tonight. If you do have questions, please reach out to the person that invited you on the call, and also to get you set up. And I hope to see you all on the team soon. Have a great evening, everyone. I appreciate your time.
Thank you, Beth.
Thank you.